Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk about awk, the pattern scanning and processing language. Previously I covered sed, and sed is good at automating the tasks that one would perform using the text editor. For example, sed can change multiple configurations in a configuration file. However, awk can both edit and analyze text. So both awk and sed can specify a pattern and an action that will execute if that pattern is found. Also, both use regular expressions. I'm going to echo this text into the personnel file. Okay, that's the personnel file. And I'm going to clear the screen. And I want to find the main.cf file in the etc postfix directory. And then I want to copy that and then call it main file. So I'm going to use the output of the find command as the argument for my copy command using the $ and then the parentheses. And then I want to remove all the commented lines, all the blank lines, all the empty lines. Okay, and so that's our configuration file. I also have an inventory shipped file. I'm going to clear the screen and let's take a look at this. So each one of these lines of text is called a record. They are by default separated by new lines. And each one of these strings is called a field, and they are by default separated by spaces. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen again. And a procedural language like C or Java will be more verbose than awk because awk only needs the pattern and the action to run. So awk is a data-driven language that's best suited for processing data separated into fields like separate spreadsheet files, database files, log files, and configuration files. So for example, I have this record from var log secure. Okay, I'm going to echo this record into awk file, and let's take a look at this command. So we have awk, and then the argument is quoted. Okay, and we have an action. Actions are surrounded by curly braces, and they can run without patterns. So this action is not run with the pattern. If we do have a pattern specified for the action, then the action will only run if the pattern is matched. All right, so we can draw text from input files, but we can also draw text from standard input. And of course, we can send the analysis to an output file or files. Okay, so let's take a look. We're printing everything in awk file, so we see the whole record, and so we can echo into awk, so it can accept text from standard input. I'm just going to up arrow and then clear the screen, and then space dash space, and now I can accept text from standard input, but also whatever files that I've specified as well. So just remember space dot space if you want to read from files and standard input at the same time. Okay, let me just move over to the next one. So if you want to print a specific field, you use the $ and then you use an expression. So we want to print field 1. So that's the first string of the record. If you want to print field 2 or field 3, you can do so. And field 0 stands for the every field in the record. Okay, the entire record. So I'm going to clear the screen and let's use a pattern. So this is surrounded by forward slashes, and this will print the entire record only if 1 is matched. Now, you can have more than one pattern and action pair if you use backslash continuation. So that is space, backslash, enter, and then use the next pattern and action, and then end the quote when you want to run the command, because this entire equation, I suppose, is surrounded by one set of quotes. Okay, you could also use semicolons to link these pairs. So you can search for more than one pattern, and then you can apply actions to those patterns if you wish. Also, if you want to use comments, use these, I think it's called the octothorpe. I call it the comment character. So just put this comment character here, and then it will ignore this text after the comment character. So again, semicolons. Something that caught my eye was the sandbox option. And so if you need to run a script from a location that is not secure, the sandbox option makes sure that the scripts cannot access your system other than the specified input data files. And this might increase your security if you are dealing with a service that does this. I'm just going to clear the screen. And just a short word about variables. So I have echoed hello world to hi file. And so you see here that the begin rule is printing that text, but I have to specify a variable before the begin rule using the V option. I will cover this in a greater detail in another tutorial in this series, but I just wanted to show you the concept. So you remember the concept from the beginning of this video of using space dash space to specify that you also want to use files as well as standard input. Okay. Let's move on to scripting. I'm going to clear the screen. And so we have a .sh suffix, and so this is a shell script. And we're using this shebang. We're calling the awk command with the F option. We have a new line, and then our only argument is print the entire record. Just make sure it has executable permissions. Okay, so this is very simple. Just really incredibly simple. So dot backslash, actually forward slash, and then the script name, and then we're using this against the awk file. Okay. So if you have a lot of really complex awk commands, then it's a great idea to write them into a script, because you can save your code, and you can also execute your code a lot faster. Or actually, the code will execute faster than you can print it. But here I am sending a argument for awk into awkscript.awk. So this is a .awk file. So this file will contain our awk arguments, and we're using the F option to refer to this .awk file. We're using it against the awk file, and so we're just printing the entire record. So this method can be used as well, because you can specify multiple files with multiple F options. So you can have a library of awk code. Let me move on to another example. I'm going to keep that screen uncleared. I don't think it will take up too much space. I've run this command before. Okay, so I'm going to replace the text in the okay, I'm going to replace the text in awk_script.awk with this argument. All right, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and now I am using the include keyword to refer to this file for my argument, and this is in double quotes because we are already using single quotes. So we use double quotes to quote something within single quotes. Okay, and semicolon, and then this is the argument that we have typed at the command line. So this is very powerful. So awk has the ability to read its program source. So that would be these files from all of the named files as if they had been concatenated or combined together into one big file. So you can specify multiple files, and then awk will just combine all of them into the same code base. So you can have a very large code base, and you can mix and match your code if you like. So many small awk scripts can be created and then used together like function libraries to accomplish a task or tasks using this include keyword in conjunction with the awk path environmental variable. So the file name supplied to these options, the F option or the include keyword, you don't have to specify the entire file path. So it doesn't. So it does not contain a directory separator. So Awk will search a list of directories called the search path one at a time as it looks for a file with a specified name. So it will get its search path from the awk path environmental variable, and that's so awk library files can be placed in a standard directory in the default path, and then specified on the command line with a short file name. And that is very, so for example, I can refer to awk_script.awk and not have to include home tux before that. And that's very useful actually, because many times you'll need to run this, and if you keep all of your awk code in one space, you don't have to waste time specifying the path for this, and it might save you some time. So yeah, so the include keyword allows self-contained awk programs to be created, and the load keyword is used if you are using external awk extensions, and that will not be covering that. So in the next video, I will be covering matching patterns with regular expressions with awk. So I hope to see you there.